It's an emergency. Got an employee that was attacked by a tiger, and he's hurt bad.
Hey, you cool cats and kittens. Welcome to the Insurance COVID Cast Culture Club special with me, Jonathan Swift. Today, looking at the Netflix series Tiger King, which I'm sure many of you have been watching in lockdown. If you haven't, and just a warning, there will be quite a few spoilers in this podcast, so you might want to turn it off now. Now, I'm delighted to say, joining me today, I have Sian Barton from Insurance Age, and from Insurance Post, I have Steffi Denton, Hariti, and Jen. Hi, everybody.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hi.
So, Tiger King, I know most of you watched it actually quite early on in lockdown, and hopefully it's still quite fresh in your memory. So, I'll come to you first of all, Sian. What was the WTF moment, the kind of moment that made you gasp the most in Tiger King?
Oh, well, it's a bit grim, to be honest. It's probably the moment where Travis shot himself, because you just thought it was kind of a slightly unsavory series. You weren't expecting anybody just to die in the middle of it. That was really jaw-dropping.
And it was the fact he was actually he wasn't trying to kill himself. He basically didn't realise that he thought the clip meant it couldn't shoot or something. Was that right?
I can't remember. Who knows?
Yeah, I think so, Swifty. I think he was just playing around. I think it might even have been a new toy and he was really excited about it. And then he accidentally, I mean, you don't see it on camera actually, but you do see sort of Joshua's reaction on CCTV. And I agree with Sian, it was wow.
Yeah.
So is that your number one moment too? WTF moment?
It certainly is on the list. I mean, for me, it was when Saf got his arm bitten off. Actually, I thought that although they were raising these animals, they were kind of looking after them, and it did look as if they were using sort of some safety measures and they were keeping away from them. But he seemed to sort of lean in and wasn't using the stick that was provided, and obviously got his arm bitten off. And then the even bigger WTF moment for me was when he then returned to work like 2 days later. And I'm sure the insurance industry would have been delighted, but didn't make a claim, was very happy to go back to work and kind of accepted the responsibility for it and just carried on.
Hariti, what was your gasp moment?
For me, I would say it was when Joe Exotic's husband, John Finlay, admitted he wasn't gay, and that he had several affairs with women at the park. I was a bit confused by that. He's got his name tattooed on his body as well, so that was definitely a WTF moment.
It's all completely normal, isn't it? All the situations.
Jen, I'll bring you in here now.
Yeah, the whole thing is just confusing, isn't it? I think it was actually the introduction to Doc Antle. I think it was just I could kind of get, okay, there's a couple of people here, there's some tigers, there's a lot of guns, there's explosions. Oh, by the way, here's another one who's sort of allegedly some kind of mobster, allegedly killing tigers. Oh, and by the way, he trains ladies. So yeah, kicked it up a lot for me.
Definitely very, very weird as well.
We've mentioned a number of the characters in the program so far, and if I was to ask you to name one of them you'd like to spend lockdown with, who would it be if you had to choose one?
I'm going to jump in on this because I think I would have to say Joe himself, because I mean, what a character. He could sing you some songs. I'm sure he'd sing you something about COVID lockdown in his country and Western style. I think he does his own hair, so you wouldn't have to worry about that, and apparently Google's gone mad about people searching for mullets these days. He had a massive political ambition, so he could talk across loads of topics. You wouldn't be bored. And not only can he cooked the big Thanksgiving dinner, but he's also totally resourceful in finding food. So those of us who don't want to go out to the supermarket, he's there. He's got to deal with Walmart. He's sorted.
So as long as you don't mind eating 2-day-old meat, you're fine. Yeah. Jen, which of the characters do you like to spend lockdown with?
I think the safest option is probably the tiger, isn't it? Possibly all of them. I have one that I would be terrified to spend lockdown with, and that's probably Alan. Other than that, I don't know. They're all kind of quirky characters, aren't they? Take the tigers, take anyone really. Be more interesting than what it is right now.
Hariti?
If I'm going to be honest, they all freak me out. So I think the one I'd go for would be Howard, because he seems quite normal compared to everyone else. Yeah.
Would you dress him up in a Fred Flintstone outfit though and lead him around on a lead?
No, definitely not. It's a bit creepy.
Sean?
Oh, it's a really horrible proposition, isn't it? I think Jen's right. The animals. You'd rather be with the animals at risk of getting one of your limbs bitten off. I think the worst one would be Doc Antle for
Yeah,
me.
Yeah.
true that.
I don't really want to join a personality cult.
You'd have to give up your name and your identity if you were with
Yeah.
Doc, wouldn't you? That's it. So you'd have your own special name, and you'd you'd have to give up your other life. That's it.
I see you
Yeah.
refer to it as a personality cult. There are other words I could think of that might be perhaps just as used. So obviously, Joe Exotic's currently is in prison. I mean, we found out, I think, today that Nicolas Cage is going to play him in the TV serialisation. But if he was to be let out and to take a job in insurance as part of his rehab, what company, what job do you think he could do in insurance? Go on, Hariti, you can go first on this.
I think he was actually previously a police officer, if I read that correctly. So yeah, I think he would make a good fraud investigator for an insurance company. But also he's a bit of a fraud himself, so he can probably catch people out.
See, I have a terrible joke there. I think he'd be good at fraud because he would know if you're feline guilty, and would also know the difference between a tiger and if you're a lion.
Oh,
God,
Oh dear.
This is what lockdown's doing to me. Sean?
So I think Allianz would love to hire him for Pet Plan. They'd be well into that.
Jed?
Well, I sort of thought there's a few names he'd fit in with, so he wouldn't do too badly at Sabre, Tiger Risk. But then I thought, you know what? Imagine what Lloyd's would look like if he led the Future at Lloyd's program. If everyone got back from lockdown and Lloyd's was just full of tigers and lions and
It would literally be the Lloyd blue tiger print.
oh dear.
I'm gonna have to carry on with your puns, Swifty. But I think I'd either have to say Lloyd's because he's got big catastrophe experience,
Oh, yes.
or I'd say Liberty Mutual because he's used to sharing things, including his husband's.
That's
Oh.
very, very true. Finally, obviously, Joe Exotic, he had a whole load of exotic animals, not just tigers. If you could have one exotic animal and look after one exotic animal, what would it be, Jen?
I don't think I would. You're not really supposed to, are you? But I don't know. I used to have. It all looks like fun and games, but I used to have a housemate with a salamander, and apparently it was carrying around all sorts of interesting diseases. So I don't know. Probably just leave it.
Stephanie?
I would have a capybara because they're very intelligent, but it would also give me my excuse to have my own pool in the back garden because they require lots of water.
Fair enough. Hariti?
I would pick African parrot because I can teach it to say things, then it can replace me when I'm doing meetings and roundtables.
So you could basically be replaced at this very moment. It would be wearing and the onesie.
Yeah.
And finally, Sean?
Oh, I'm veering on. The nice side of me would like a giraffe because they're really sweet and cute, and I feel like you could give them a nice cuddle. And the other side of me quite fancies a great white shark at my command. Move and live on a boat and have my shark enforcer looking after me.
You need a bigger pool than Steffi with that. I
Yeah, you
think.
would.
Well, thank you, everybody. Obviously, we've probably spoiled a little bit of Netflix there. And, if you haven't watched it out there and you still want to watch it after this, it's certainly worth giving it a go. It is absolutely crazy. And I do look forward to seeing the TV serialization of it. As I said, this is part of the ongoing COVID cast series brought to you by Insurance Post and Insurance Age. We do tend to usually pick more serious subjects. And of course, if you want to keep up with all the news, then please register or subscribe, which is available. Go to the login up here, just after the banner of the title. But until the next COVID cast, it's goodbye from me. Stay safe, everybody.